And blessed love, everyone. I'm theRASTApreneur. Welcome to Reasoning with theRASTApreneur, the artist series where we're doing an inner dive. Yeah, man. We call it interview into the lives, the stories, the experiences of some of the world's most artistically talented individuals. Yeah, man. Whether it's a reggae artist, Rastafari leader, or voices of influence within our African community, we're here to hold a reasoning, hopefully give you a deeper dive into their world, their journey, their passions, their dreams, and then hopefully it encourages you to become a supporter. So with no further delay, here in episode 2 of Reasoning with theRASTApreneur, the artist series, we are joyed to say we're joined by none other than Jamaican reggae artists. Been featured on some of the biggest tunes. I'm gonna say some of my favorite tunes. One of my favorite tunes is rocking coming, nice up the scene. Yeah, man. So none
Big up,
other
big
than the
up.
voice of he's been featured on some of the biggest records with Protege, Kabaka Pyramid. Damian Marley is on his new project. Lila and been working with Winta James. So none other than Kingston, Jamaican born reggae artist Mortimer. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the
Um,
vibes.
yeah,
Yes,
man,
man.
true. So if it's anything, we just like to give the floor before we even get into it. If it's anything you just want the people to know before we even get started, you know?
No, actually, I just want to say thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Lots of love,
Yes, sir.
man.
Yeah,
Right.
man. Appreciate love the eye. So yeah, man, we're gonna jump right into it. Let's say, I was kind of reading your bio of the EPK and it said, you tried thinking to be like an auto mechanic or a soldier or something. So I'm just wondering what happened in your life that changed the meds to be an artist for one, and then the meds to reggae.
Yeah. I, I still am in love, pretty much in love with cars. You know what I mean? Still have a deep desire to race, as a matter of fact. But
Same.
music, I feel like it's in all of us. It's what causes our blood to flow and our hearts to pump. So,
Yes, sir.
at some point in time, some of us, will decide to have a par with it,
Mm,
and whatever it is that we choose to do with it, then is choice and intention. So,
yes, sir.
yeah, man.
So was reggae always the try, or did you start somewhere
And,
else and then you
and
made reggae?
yeah, I mean, um, I used to sing a lot of gospel music when I used to go to church, as part of the choir. And, I had a boys group of my own too. At the time, a cappella boys group. Same we used to name Boys for Christ at the
Ah,
time.
nice.
And, eventually, I got exposed to, more and more music, different styles, different types, different, textures of sounds and whatever. And, I fell in love with reggae music and just being black overall and what it stands for.
Yes,
It was
the
it
message.
was one of the music that really kind of connect with my heart certain kind of ways. So
True, true, true. So wondering, coming from Kingston, coming from Kingston, I mean, no, the musical vibration is around, but coming from Jamaica, I mean, I just really went there myself 2 strongs ago, and I'm gonna be documenting some things. I always try to document the climbing over there to show them no, because over here in America, I'm gonna preface this question. In America, I'm in California. Man complain about everything, and they have every opportunity. So the
yeah.
first time we reached Jamaica was 2014, 2015, we go like 17, and then we reached my brethren whom we call like he's not my blood brother, but he's my brother. When we met in 2016, and now when I stay on the resort, we go stay with him and see Jamaica. The reason why I'm saying we see the plight of the people because the government not care, no people kind of giving you a helping hand in terms of doing anything. So we're wondering from coming from that environment, what would you say was your biggest challenge into getting to where you are right now?
I feel like one of the biggest challenges I've faced and still am facing is just kind of discovering who I am in all of this, and my purpose in all of this and my whys, trying to figure out my whys, you know. That's the most challenging part, kind of really just kind of being honest and open with yourself. Um, yeah, that's been the most challenging part, you know. And I feel like it is time that we stop looking for help um outwardly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody that's gonna come and save anybody, none at all. You see, me, the job is up to us, and I think I know for me personally, I know a lot of the struggles that we've been through as a people, especially as a black man, especially growing up in the society that I've grown up in and thing. But at some point in time, you have to take responsibility. You know, at some
Yeah.
point in time, it's not the government anymore because we know what the government is and does. You know, we know that it's shit.
The
We
same
we
thing they say
know.
about the politics here, because where I go on every month, like, oh, Kamala,
Yeah,
me not get on either side of it. I just feel like
yeah,
Jah is gonna help the eye. No, no man gonna help the eye. So I
yeah.
didn't mean
No,
to cut
no,
you short, but it's
no,
like when
man,
you're
none
saying
at
something, you're
all.
touching me hard, you know?
True, true. Yes, I mean, so you know, it's time to look within ourselves, you know, and perhaps it's time to kind of stop playing the blame game,
True.
you know, because if you know what you know and you do nothing about it, then what purpose is what you know?
Purposely true.
You
True.
know what I mean? So,
We love that. Yeah, yeah, man. We love that. So we want to go to it's we really wanted to stay away from music first, but we know we're on a time schedule, so we're gonna kind of jump into it. So I
yeah,
just
man.
talked about one of my favorite tune, like one of my favorite reggae tune, not Mortimer tune, like really not reggae tune. One of my yo
Yeah,
nice up the scene. You just paint a so me as a Rasta brethren, you just paint a picture for the eye with that one, where it's like, yo, it's just a ice, And if you know,
yeah,
then you know. If you haven't feel it, then maybe you not feel it the same way. But for the eye who've experienced it, it's like, yo, ice. So with tunes like Nice Up the Scene and then Protection with the Protege, them tunes kind of in my eyesight, maybe me wrong and you can correct it, kind of bust the eye to a next level. Would you
mm,
say, how would you say that had an impact on you in terms of your career and maybe your musicality in terms of how you go about creating music from them time then?
uh, you know, it's everything is constant growth, you know. I feel like yeah, get nice up the scene, you know, that song was produced by Winta James. It was on the Mile High rhythm, you see me? Yeah, a couple of that dep on it as well, you know. I mean Morgan Heritage them and thing and you know, Kumar and I think Kumar dep on it, I think, or upon the gratitude rhythm Kumar there. Something like that. But anyhow,
Gratitude, yeah, man. It's the
yeah,
gratitude
the
rhythm for
gratitude
Kumar.
with him that one. Yeah. So the thing is I know I definitely agree. I feel like the song with Protege, especially to, you know, those two songs in that first period of me and Winter them starting to work, definitely did a lot for the visibility of the career, you know what I mean,
Mm.
of the music, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely did a lot for the visibility and I give thanks for that. You know, and it hasn't it only has propelled me to continue to do more music.
Yeah, man.
If anything,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
and more uplifting music, more music that, you know, can make an impact, you know what I mean, on this earth before I leave, you know.
Yeah, man.
I don't have much time here, so
Message music, are true. You mentioned Winter James, and it actually led me to my next question because I noticed you did a lot of producing for the album, a lot of the works, and a lot of works on the upcoming album that we saw. I was wondering,
I
like, how did that partnership, I mean, just call it a partnership because I've been working so long. How did that come about? Like, how did you meet? And then, from that, how did you just say, yo, this is a visionary that we're going to kind of follow him leadership, if you will, to go to a
yeah.
place to take my message to a place that we're trying to get to.
Um Winter is a genius, you know.
True, true. So
um we met years ago. We've been working now for forever. You know what I mean? And I definitely enjoy working with him over the years.
Mhm.
I feel like I love people who are passionate about what they do, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I feel like a man without a purpose is nothing but a shell, man, you
Purpose
know?
in life. Yes,
You just,
I.
yeah, so yeah,
Purpose.
at some point in time, you have to discover what that is.
Mhm.
And it's fine if you discover late, it's fine. There's no starting block. There's no, time frame. It's just, you got to discover it at some
Yeah.
point in time. And Winta is one of those people who I feel like can be doing nothing else but what he does now.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, what I mean? And it's been incredible working with him, man. Just the kind of person that he is to, and all that he stands for as a person. He's a very upright person, you know what I mean? Good soul, and I like rocking with him because of that. So yeah, we met about 8 years now, as a matter of fact, and we've been just constantly working together since then. He is an absolute master at what he does.
Hmm.
I think we make one hell of a team.
But now, yeah, man. But now it's a team. It's a brotherhood. Even by
Yeah,
8 years. You mentioned discovery, and it kind of make me think. I noticed your voice has like this switch from like transition from raspy to like a sweet falsetto type vibe. When did you yourself discover that range? You know what I mean? Or did it just come naturally? And you just say, because sometimes it's just like a raspiness that I don't know how to describe it. It's a raspiness that then they go to a sweet falsetto at the same time, you know?
saying, well, give thanks. I appreciate that, isn't me?
Mm.
Um, I mean, I think I just grew into it, man. Like there was no kind of way. It was never like a conscious decision to,
Ja
sound
gift
this
you with
particular way. You know what I
it.
mean? It's just, yeah.
Yeah, man. Ja gift you
But
with
I'm
it.
not gonna say that I don't notice, the ability to, and it's super cool that I'm able to. I find it to be a blessing. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yes, sir. So what I something because I deal with a lot of this, and this is maybe I don't feel like it's touchy because you put it in your song, not not a day goes by. That was the thing. Not a day. It kind of touched on mental health and your experiences with it. You know, I want to ask you, how important do you think it is for man in time to talk about it in this time, especially from our community, as the Rastafari community? Just if it's something you don't want to touch, just make me know. We'll move forward.
no. It's just fine, of course. I mean, it's very important. It's about just being aware of yourself as well too.
Mm.
Um, just a little while ago, I was answering some questions about figuring out our feelings. We tend to kind of ignore sometimes our feeling, and some of us have genuine difficulties figuring out how we feel from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
and why we feel the way we feel from time to time. You know what I mean? I feel like emotional wellness or emotional literacy in any kind of way, it's like we should have been getting that from birth. Just to kind of, I mean, we know within ourselves a lot of things that we know we just been disconnected from. So it's like we feel like there's a deep feeling that we know something, and then it won't come to fore. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There's something there. I don't know. But I feel like it's very important, especially amongst men, to have a brotherhood if
Yes,
you can, especially. Have a few. I'm not saying you need to have a bag of friend and an entourage and whatever, just
nah.
have a few people in your circle who you can share what it is like for you to be human so far.
Yes, I. So me
Because
love that.
they
Me
all
love
can relate to that, you know what I mean, being human. So yeah.
because for the eye, I feel like that's what my purpose in life is about. Is to study humans and how we can better interact with humans in a more peaceful way. I feel like that's what His Majesty, through his teachings, that's what he showed. That's the purpose. And so learning for I realizing strength is kind of standing still when everyone else is kind of rah rah. Not
Yeah.
going and
Sorry.
but realizing what makes a human being go into the rara, what makes a human being go into bad mind. So my study of human beings make me kind of get on the same meds that you were just talking about. Just each individual kind of maybe finding what's within them rather than maybe seeking the outside source, but through the guidance of the Most High, not guidance of another man, but guided by the
Yeah,
Most High. True. Um, I wanted to talk about Bruises because I was latest track. I mean, it's this why I talked about it because it speaks about the mistreatment of us as Black people from uh, from the beginning of time that we don't tend to talk about. Feel like as much. Feel like we have been given certain freedoms, and now we now want to really talk about what we've been through, and not to say to go there, but to be reminded why we need to stand firm in this time. And so I feel like Bruises touch on that. Is that something that you purposely set out to do? Like, or is it
yeah.
just like this is inspiration? Looking at certain things, this song just come to me forward. Just wondering.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of both, it's a bit of both. I feel like yes, we do need to be reminded, of who we are and all that we've been through, and not forget. It's easy to forget amidst all the distractions of the world. You know what I mean? And I feel like yeah, it's important for us to remember. But also I feel like apart from even that section of it too, we hurt ourselves a lot. Um, we hurt ourselves a lot. A lot of our pain is self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mentally, emotionally, every alley. I feel like so the song speaks to both all the scars that we've borne, you know what I mean? Seen and unseen, whether done by somebody else or ourselves, you know what I mean? But they're all there to show, through our
Mm-hmm.
experiences.
Yeah, man, and it's to provide a healing in a way. That's what I see. I mean, when you
Yeah,
reflect on those things that you just talked about, then you can reflect on self and start the healing process. With to me, it starts from within. So yeah,
yeah,
man, that's why I kind of referenced it. And then in the visualizer, I saw references like some of the iconic leaders like Martin Luther King and
yeah,
Malcolm X
yeah.
and things like that. Do you feel like that was important to create that visual? Because we do live in a visual time where ones they can hear something, but when they really see it, it maybe touch you. Was that kind of the thought process between putting them? I mean, amongst putting them in there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Listen, we are where we are today, which, I feel like we could have been a lot further. We could have done a lot more with what was fought for.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like um you had ones that really fought to pave the way for the black man, really sought to unite humanity, and I feel like in some regard we have forgotten that. And it's
Yes.
important for the next generation to know as well, because we're making music that when my sons grow up,
Mm-hmm.
and their sons come up, if they're not getting it in the classroom, they'll get it through the music as well. You know what I mean?
You bring. I
Because
mean,
it's them thing they stop talk about in the classroom long time. They don't want us to know, as separated as we can be is the better
yeah,
for the
man.
powers that be.
Even the I was you speak on something taken away from the classroom. I was again in Jamaica and just talking to my mom's over there, and she was talking about how patois was taken away. And
Mm,
just for the I, me wish we could speak it fluently. I wouldn't stop speaking it because I realize what it means to we and
yeah,
then what they're trying to take away from. They couldn't recognize what we ancestors were saying through this language that they're now trying to call a dialect while they won't preserve it because it's a dialect, not a language. So when you bring them things, it's like they take all of the teachings that we of our ancestry out and then bring in the European ancestry. So that brought me to this one may have to really look at because that's what you might see me looking off camera. I didn't want to forget this. So reggae itself is always tied to the African roots and Black liberation. I'm saying, do you find it challenging in this time to create music spreading that message when it's really all about commercialized? commercialization of music, meaning making commercial music for monetary gain? Do you find it difficult to stay true to the roots, the message of your African roots while trying to make money? I mean, just put it that way, in this time off music.
Well, I can't say I've ever had a conversation with a tree as to how difficult it is to stay rooted in the hurricane breeze. You know what I mean? But we are as trees, man, planted.
Mm.
You know what
True.
I mean? So you don't know, like once your intention is intention, and choices at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And if you decide to uplift instead of tear down, then it is a decision to uplift instead of tear down.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I choose to uplift instead of add to, a seemingly or obviously degrading society. You know what I mean? Progress and not regression.
Yes,
You know.
I progress. Me love it. Um, me want to say so I want to get to this. I really wanted to have a reason, spiritual reason, and that's what we did so far. But you've accomplished a lot musically in your career, so I want to touch on that a little bit before we forward. You've worked with some of the big names that I mentioned, like Protege, Kabaka Pyramid, Damian Marley, Lila Ike, which was another. We love that Empress and love her voice, and love her style, everything. How is that working with those artists? How have they influenced you? And how has it from the start of the artist that was setting out to be on this trot to the artist you are now? Do you feel like it has made you look at yourself any differently?
Yeah, well, first for I'm looking at myself differently every other day. Because we're always evolving as we go along. We're always changing in some kind of way. Discovering new things about ourselves. We discover answers to questions that we've had for a long time and we've had now too. But I'm grateful that I'm able to create with my fellow creators. You know what I mean? I feel like the gift of creativity was given to us by the Most High for one single purpose, and it's to remind us that we are human. You see me? So that within itself is a blessing to be able to create, and especially with people who have inspired me over the years too. When I look at their
Mm,
careers, you know what I mean, and just sonically what they produce and what they put out, is very pleasing to me at least. I'm a big fan of their music, and
yeah.
it's super cool that we could have come together to create on my first album,
Mhm.
super dope.
So I mean, we're gonna get into the album right after this question. So I asked you your biggest challenge up to this point. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment in your eyes up until this point in your career?
My biggest accomplishment, I have I'm a chronic screenshotter. Seeing now, give me some context now. My biggest accomplishments so far have been the messages that I've read. I've realized how much my music has touched a lot of people.
Mm.
And I get messages a lot about, how this song has helped me through this day, or this song helped me through a hard time, or, this song caused me to think, or, those are my biggest accomplishments, the fact that I've been using my gift to touch hearts, that's
Yeah,
my biggest accomplishment so far, for real.
nice. So
It
I
does
I
something to
I
my
would
soul, man.
would say the biggest accomplishment is what's done to date, and what we're going to talk about now is the album. So you've done
Plus-
a couple of EPs, you've done a lot of features, but now this is the full length album, the full length
Yeah, yeah.
LP, not EP. So what does that feel like? We want to talk about it.
Yeah, it feels really good, you know what I mean? We've been putting together this body of work now for a minute, but as I as I grow older, I've started to become a lot more patient, and still the patience that I've garnered over the years still kind of look like impatience sometimes. But it's like super, super cool that we're finally finished with this project. We've been working at it now for quite some time, but nothing before the time, I believe. And I'm super
Yeah, man.
excited about sharing this project. It's my first album, my first full length project. You know, you have ones like Damian Marley and it's Lila, Kabaka. Also, we have three extra tracks on it from Tippy High Grade. You know what I mean? He's
Mm.
dubbing three of the existing tracks, and you know, I don't know if you know, but we went on tour um in April with Tippy and Samurai, and it was amazing, man. It was
Mm.
such a good vibe watching him in his element, you know, doing what he's doing. Because I'm a big fan of his works from long time, even with Vaughn Benjamin. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Big fan of his work and things. So, you know, it's nice to have him a part of the project as well.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So, is it a story that you're telling from the project? Is it something that you want? I know the message is this is true what it's always been, but is this particular message for this project that you want to bring through to the people?
No, well, I mean, if anything, it was like a message to myself to continue, you know. And I will say that to everybody else as well. Continue. See me? Continue.
Yeah, man.
Continue. There's
One
life
step,
in continuity, one
just
step at
one.
a time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I told many stories. I told stories of faith and hope and love, you know. So many stories on there. So I can't wait for you guys to hear all
And
it.
one more question before we give you the floor. And this, I know I kind of hate asking artists this question, but it just seems like, is there a favorite track? Is there one that on this album where you're like, yo, this is my vibe? Not that,
Yo,
not
you
even
know,
that you think that the to tell the people, let them go listen to their favorite, but just the eyes probably
yeah, yeah,
favorite
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My favorite tune. Yeah, first of all, I am in love with the entire album. You see me?
Mhm.
I'm super happy I was able to make a body of work that for me personally, when I listen to it, I don't feel like I need to skip any songs, you know?
Mhm.
Or skip two, you know, because each song is is unique in its own way. You know what I mean? It's a different expression of musicality in its own way, a different kind of, you know, different experimenting, different sounds, different sonics for all parts, you know, different kind of frequency. But I feel like my if I was to choose, you know, it definitely would be a song called You and Me. You know, that's one of my that's one of my favorite songs. You know, I love the soft chords with the steppers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Sonically, I think that's super dope. And the story was a simple one. You know, just talking about my relationship then and my relationship now. You know, and yeah, I think it's super dope. You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite songs. The mood of it is just like,
You
damn,
and me,
yeah.
you and me. Let me check the tune
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So
And yeah, well, you said one, but track one too, you know, in my time, definitely, you see me. That's my vibes. I can't wait till you guys hear that. That's the one that features Gong as well.
and so
You see
that's
me, so
we
mm.
from within on all streaming platforms on September 20th. Am I correct?
Yeah, September
September
20.
September 20th. You heard it here first. Actually, it'll be posted today. So so it'll be on all streaming platforms today. Um, yo, before we even forward, I just really want to give you the time and space as we close and let the people know anything besides the album coming on December. I mean, I said December, but September 20th. September 20th, not December, thinking about my Earth Strong. My Earth Strong December 29th. So people
Oh,
always think
man,
to
all
me.
right. Cool,
Okay,
cool.
so yeah, but September 20th though is the release of From Within, the debut album by Jamaican reggae artist sensation Mari Rastafari brethren, and who I was joyed to reason with today, Mortimer. So this the floor is yours. Let the people know anything you might want to know. I'll add your social media and all them things.
Yeah, man, of course, of course. Listen, be still, man, you know, be still in heart and soul as much as you can. You know, I know it's easy to get carried away and get washed away with all the sorrows of your heart. but try to keep us still beat, man, and love, keep love in your heart. Love has become a very unpopular
Yeah.
situation these days. You know what I mean? But it is at the center of this that we will move forward. You know what I mean? It is the center of this that we'll find light to find our way. It is at the center of love that we find strength and compassion, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
for each other and ourselves. It is the center of it that we will find patience. You see me? So keep love in your heart always, above all things. See me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's all I will say. That's a
See
love.
that. See that. Yeah, man. So we're going to give thanks. We appreciate love, the time and space, everyone. This was episode number 2, Reasoning with the Rastafreneur, the artist series with Mortimer. I mean, this is such an honor. And yeah, we're gonna close out. Fire, just stay on, stay on. I'm gonna close out the recording right now, but just stay on.
Yeah, man. No problem, brother.